H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds was published as a magazine serial, Pearsons magazine, in 1897. It was published as a hardback book in 1898. It is in the public domain and can be adapted. And that has certainly happened here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the recent movie on Amazon called War of the Worlds. I've been working on my own adaptation since 2017. Still working on it. I'll tell you a little about it and then the background of this story. All right, I wrote a review. It was published August 2nd. I enjoyed reading. That's me, Robert Beatty. I enjoyed reading the 1889 H.G. Wells War of the Worlds novel. I enjoyed viewing the 1953 feature film War of the Worlds. It's the adaptation. Gene Barry. I did manage to view all of this. It was confusing and disturbing, and it was an Amazon commercial. I wrote here that this version is taking liberties with the story to serve some purpose other than entertaining the viewer. Well, that's what I believe, and apparently that's what a lot of other viewers believed. The movie director Rich Lee, who directs commercials. This is an Amazon commercial. 57%, 1 star. I'm one of the 1 stars. 14%, 2 stars. That's 71%, 7 out of 10. Less than 3 stars. Below average, thumbs down. The author of the original story, H.G. Wells, Herbert George Wells, earned a Bachelor of Science degree in zoology in London in 1890. His novel, The Time Machines, published in 1895, after it was published as a magazine serial. It's never been out of print. Same with 1896 novel, The Island of Dr. Moreau. Never been out of print. Then 1897, The Invisible Man. By this time, H.G. Wells was a very well-known writer. But what really put him over was in 1897 and 1898. Had a short story published in Pearsons magazine, The Crystal Egg. And it talks about the discovery that Earthlings are being spied upon around the world by Martians. It is set 6 years before the events described in the War of the Worlds. The story of the Crystal Egg is set before that. We know, or at least some know, the Martians are spying on us. So I get, usually the people make movies know what they're doing, or at least the writer knows the background. Doesn't always happen, but I think probably the people that worked on this knew the background. They may not have respected the source material. But this 2025 movie is about spying on people, and that's how this whole story started. The Crystal Egg. Then the War of the Worlds. It was routine back then with the technology of the 1890s and before to run a story that would become a novel first in magazines or newspapers. Now, it's been in the public domain sometimes, and many liberties have been taken with it. Um, War of the Worlds Global Dispatches, edited by Kevin J. Anderson, who also contributed a story. Most of the stories were written in 1996, a century after it was originally published in serial form. Um, Connie Willis is a prize winning author. She contributed a story, and it's hilarious. Um, Her story is that the Martians are all poets. Every Martian is a poet. And they come to Earth and they go to Emily Dickinson, a poet. And she read them two poems that were so revolting to them that some died on the spot and the rest fled. They left Earth. Earth won because of Emily Dickinson knew how to write a good poem and how to write a bad poem. So if you made a movie out of that, well, people would probably say you're taking liberties with the source material, but that can't be done, and it has been done. I've got to really wonder if this is really started as a commercial, and they just mashed a bunch of commercials together. All right, so I started working on my own adaptation in 2017. And one of the first things I did, wasn't first, but one of them was purchase a book about Michael Crichton, Critical Companion, as a scholarly work. And see the contents. The Andromeda Strain, 1969. I read that. My mother gave it to me. Now, Crichton, it said in this book and elsewhere that Crichton's Andromeda Strain is his rewriting of Wells' War of the Worlds. In Wells' version, small microbes of Earth kill the invaders from outer space. In Crichton's version, small invading microbes from space kill Earthlings. Both are excellent stories. Entertaining stories. So, when I decided to write my own version, and now I'm not sure that I will finish it, at first I decided to write a mashup of Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes and H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. But some of you science fiction readers know that's already been done and was done long ago. I bought this Sherlock Holmes War of the Worlds by Wellman, father and son. I bought it November 4th, 2019. Further Adventure of Sherlock Holmes War of the Worlds. And so it's already been done. I could do it. But they wrote it in the early 70s. I wrote a whole bunch of versions and read them. Don't tell my wife. So here's one: Massacre of Mankind, War of the Worlds, War of the Worlds Aftermath. So I've been working on this on and off for years. I mean, I've just been working on it. I haven't finished anything. Now, what I settled on in 2020, the year this movie was made, is a mashup of Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises and H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. Jake Barnes, standing in for Hemingway, sends reports from various European locations of battles during the War of the Worlds. So, and I've also invented a Martian equivalent who sends dispatches back to Mars on how the campaign against Earth is going. And now that adaptation, some will hate, and some, I don't expect anybody to love it, but it's really kind of more Jake Barnes / Hemingway than it is H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, but they are both. I mashed them up together. Now, Wells didn't tell anything about the Martian point of view, or very little, but I'm going to do that. And if I do publish it, it won't be for a year or two. So, no, I haven't decided on title. With tongue in cheek, I've been calling it The Sun Also Rises on the War of the Worlds for a Lost Generation of Earthlings and Martians. Now, the companion book, I will tell the whole history, and I will tell about the writing and the Strunk White and the scene sequel, and that might actually do better than the actual mashup novel. So I finished this on my Substack. This is an actual telegram in the Hemingway, The Sun Also Rises. Could you come to Hotel Montana, Madrid, AM, rather in trouble, Brett. So I will have that same thing. I'm going to wait till The Sun Also Rises is unquestionably out of copyright. Some dispute now, not much, but anyway, it's a fascinating idea. We've got a lot of good stories that can be rewritten. I mean, it's done all the time. On television, they're rewriting Jules Verne. There's a TV series, but reasonable minds may differ about the quality of the adaptation. So, I don't recommend you watch this new movie, but I hope you read the book sometime. Wells had a bunch of good ones, as I said. Time Machine, Dr. Moreau, Invisible Man, War of the Worlds, and there are others. First to the Moon. Well, I'll stop there.